Welcome back to the Real Legend of Gaming. We have some exciting news from Clash Royale directly from their website. It was just announced. There are balance changes coming on January 23rd. Some of the changes were expected and a couple were surprises. So we'll go right into it. Like as always, the way we approach card balance in Clash Royale is a combination of playtesting and looking at the stats. So in this round of changes, they're looking at the now infamous Elite Barbarians, the Meta Kings I call them, and they're toning down some of the highest value defensive options and more. So the Elite Barbarians, hit points are being decreased by 4%, the damage is being decreased by 4%, and the hit speed is increasing to 1.5 seconds. That's a lot of changes. So while these three changes are relatively small on their own, the combined effect should be noticeable and make Elite Barbarians more manageable. We don't want to make them weak, just a little bit less powerful. I mean, there's small tweaks, but by lowering their HP, lowering the amount of damage they do, and the speed they can do damage, we'll be able to see that difference for sure. Also, the favorite card that almost everyone uses, the Zap. The damage is being decreased by 6%. Zap has been one of the most used cards in the game for a long time. This change will stop it from one-shotting equally leveled goblins, which includes goblin barrel goblins, and should make other spells such as arrows interesting alternatives. What do you folks think about that? I know whenever I've seen a goblin barrel, I'll zap it right away. I mean, if your zap spell is one level higher, you can still one-shot it, but if you're doing like a level 11 on a level 11, or actually more, if it's a goblin barrel maybe on level 4, you're not going to be able to zap it. So yeah, I can see people using more arrows, but the arrows is one more elixir, so it'll be interesting to see how decks change now. Now the Electro Wizard hit points is going up by 9%, and the spawn damage is decreasing by 6%. That's pretty big news. So now the Fireball will no longer take out an equivalently leveled Electro Wizard. Spawn damage reduction is for consistency with the Zap change above. That makes sense. And I'm very happy that the hit points increased on Electro Wizard. I did find it a bit hard to use him because he's 4 elixir, and if he gets one-shotted by a Fireball, yes, it's a wash, but it also kills your offensive momentum. Or if you're trying to defend against a Minion Horde or some Skellies. So I do like this. The Mega Minion, which used to be the Meta Minion, damage is decreasing by 4. And the hit speed is going up to 1.5 seconds as well. The Mega Minion is a highly used and very valuable defensive option in need of toning down. Pulling the power from his damage instead of hit points felt like a better approach and more fitting with its armor theme. He's still a minion, but a tanky one. This is the second time I've seen changes to the Mega Minion. It's still a popular card, but this will change its usage as well. The Archer hit points is going down by 4%. Now, I'm surprised by this change here. I thought the Archers were great, especially for support. And for the elixir price, you know, I felt they were pretty weak already, but they were sufficient enough to get it done. So Archers are the top tier support card in the current meta. We're looking to pull a little bit of power from them, but also aiming to keep their interactions with Elite Barbarians and Mega Minion the same after the above two changes. Okay, the log damage is going down by 4%, knockback effect reduced. Big. Me personally, I don't have the log card. I'm excited about this. The log would always crush my momentum when I throw down a princess, or when I put down a skeleton army to take out a hog rider or an elite barbarian. So this is good. And again, it balances everything out. So reduces the log's knockback effect, won't change its uniqueness. It'll still be the only card that can knock back all troops. Our aim is to lower how much control and displacement it brings to the arena. The slight damage reduction will keep its interaction with archers the same. Now, I'm very sad about this one here, because this is my favorite card. It only costs 2 elixir. It's a tank. It destroys skeleton armies when it explodes. It slows down minion hordes. It slows down elite barbs. It distracts almost everything. The Ice Golem is getting a nerf. And folks, I know you feel my pain, but again, they have to balance out the cards. This card has been very popular. If you look at Woody's popular card list, the Ice Golem is right up the top. So the Ice Golem is a top tier defensive option, and it currently offers too much control and value for 2 elixir. However, we like the niche he fills as a 2 elixir tank, actually niche. So we're tackling this with a hit point and control reduction. Alright, so 5% hit points going down, death damage radius and slow duration reduced. That's a big change. Next up is the Ice Spirit, damage going down by 10%. Big change as well. I incorporated the Ice Spirit into my last Royale video deck, and the sole reason why I had it there was to counter the Skelly army, so that when I'm pushing with the Elite Barbarians, I can kind of take out half of them. This is a change. So currently a lone Ice Spirit can bring an entire horde of minions to within 1 hit each from a crown tower. And that is true. That's a bit too much of a positive elixir trade for our taste. Alright, I understand the motive behind that. Makes sense. I mean, 1 elixir versus a 5 elixir card. Take out half his life, slow it down so that the tower can chip away. It was an excellent trade-off. I understood. Now the Wizard, which has gotten so many buffs lately, has a range increase of 0.5. The Wizard's use rate is relatively low overall. A bit more range should make him a more compelling choice when stacked up against the other range support options. I don't think that's enough of a buff to make the Wizard usable again. I think the Wizard, all seriousness, needs the elixir cost to go down. You have the Electro Wizard at 4. You have the Ice Wizard at 3. You should bring the Wizard down to 4 at least, because the Wizard is so weak against the Fireball. It's weak against the Ice Wizard as well. To me, it's just not a strong card. And I as you've seen in all my videos, I don't have a Wizard in the decks. And if I do, it might be 1. I still don't think I do. And it's just, it needs more than a range buff to be usable again. Alright, so those are the changes. As always, please drop comments on this video. Let me know what you folks think. Tell me what buffs you like, what nerfs you like, or actually nerfs you like, or which one's going to affect your deck. And let me know what kind of decks you plan to use now. There's a lot of changes here. And as always, please like and subscribe. The Real Legend of Gaming. Peace out, folks.